How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to talk about SENs today because there's actually some really good news that I think was kind of covered up because the stock is down about 8% today. So I've been having a lot of people asking me whether I'm holding on to SENs, what I think about it, why is it going down so much? Because really, over the last, I think it was maybe yesterday or the day before, it was up significantly. I think it was up to $3.85 or something like that. And we saw it continue to rise, and then it quickly fell back down. And then since about $3.30, it's been pretty much down since there, about 33%. Now, again, there's some really good news that came out that makes me even more bullish on the company. And then I'm going to cover a couple other companies that people have been asking a lot about. Two companies that I hold, that one I actually bought recently, and then one that I've talked about maybe a week ago, but a lot of people have been asking me about it because of some pressure that has come down upon them. So I'll walk you through all of this. If you guys like this, please leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. If you guys don't mind hitting subscribe, I really appreciate that too. If you guys want, there is a link down there. There are a couple links down there for some free money. First of all, there's a link down there to WeBull. You can get 4 free stocks worth up to $3,700. So you can check that one out. Just deposit $100. There's a link down there to SoFi Money, pretty far down, but there's one there. You can deposit $500 and get $50 in bonus. And then there's also a link down there to BlockFi where you can actually put crypto on BlockFi, and then you can get up to 8.6% interest on your crypto there. So definitely check that out. And then there's also a link down to my Patreon. So I told my Patreon members what I was thinking about these stocks this morning. So definitely, check that out if you're interested in any of these, because, the stock market always changes and it's really important to stay up to date. So check that out down below if you want to know exactly what I buy and sell right when I buy and sell it. So the company that we're looking at today is SENs, Sensionics Holdings. And I bought this one at $1.70 a week ago. Or maybe it was a week, right around a week ago. And then we also doubled our position on Tuesday this week. So when the market opened on Tuesday, we saw that they had a share offering, a direct offering, and I actually bought more. Now, the reason I did that, and I told you in the video that day, was because the stock price was going to drop. At least that's what I figured, and then it did, so I picked up more shares then. But I thought the share price would drop because they're having a share offering. But really, in my eyes, they needed the cash. And they had already gone up so much, it only made sense to have a share offering because their price had gone up so much. So for me, that made sense. So I was actually more bullish on the stock. Now, today, we got an announcement. So just first of all, the share offering that was announced on January 17 was for 40 million shares at $1.25 a share. Now, this does dilute the company a good amount because, they were sitting around, I believe they're sitting around a $400 million market cap at the time because they're $1.50. Now, they usually price these below what the cost is of the stock at the time. It sends the stock price down a little bit, along with the fact that there's dilution. But I like there was a direct offering. So a company is taking such a liking to the company. A big institution is taking such a liking that they're willing to buy a significant amount at a slightly reduced price. And then today we got the news, or maybe it was just at the end of the day yesterday, I believe, that Sensionics was going to increase their bought deal offering of common stock to 100 million. So they're doubling the amount of money, and they're selling this, the 51.9 million shares, at $1.92.5. So they're getting a much higher price than they were before, about 50% higher, and they're selling more shares. Now, in my mind, this is not cause for concern. I mean, maybe if they said that they were going to double the share price or the share offering, if they said that they were going to just double the amount of shares outstanding, maybe that would make me a little bit cautious because I'm thinking, why do they need this much cash? But we've seen that with NNDM before, where they raised more money than they were in market cap by a couple times if you look over the last couple months. But this is awesome to see because it gives them a lot more firepower. It takes a lot of risk out of the stock. Now, of course, they still need to produce, right? They still need to be able to produce a good product. But now they have 100 million to work with. This is huge. This will give them a lot more runway. Now, people have been asking me, okay, it's not time to sell off, you're saying, and that's why I'm saying I personally am not selling off because of this at all. This makes me more bullish on the company. Is it time to buy more? Well, if you've been waiting to buy into SENs, I could kind of see this as a potential reason to buy in. Now, this is kind of like me doubling my shares on Tuesday, right? Because the market opened Tuesday this last week. That was a good point for me to jump in because I was actually more bullish on the company and the price dropped, right? So it's better to buy after they announce the share offering if it's going to happen than to buy right before and have the increased price. So if you've been waiting to get in, now seems like a very attractive valuation at $2.22. Now, it's not as good as $1.50. You're taking a little bit more risk on, but it reduces some of the risk because they will have all that cash sitting around. So if you're thinking about it, you could do that. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a stock analyst. Do your own research. I personally am not buying more because I'm already comfortable with my position. And that's something I always look at, right? I look at what kind of returns could I see from the company? And then what's my position already? Is it big enough that I don't want to add risk? And for this one, I added a good amount of shares for what I am willing to add for a penny stock. Now, maybe down the line, we see another FDA approval for the 180 days instead of the 90 days continuous glucose monitoring system. And if you're just seeing my channel for the first time, I've covered this stock 4 or 5 times before probably. So you can look back at some of those older videos. I'll put them up on the end screen too. But I don't plan on adding more just because I want to reduce my risk. So I'm happy to sit on my shares right now. If there's some more good news that comes out that I think would make me even more bullish on the company, I might re-look at this and maybe buy some more. But in my mind, this is very good. Now, people have been asking me, am I holding on to TMDI? Because right after I bought it, it went up to over $3. I bought it at $2.38 or $2.39, just so you guys know, a few days ago. So again, if you want to see exactly what I'm buying and selling in real time, you can check that out. But I was part of this large run up here, and we rode it up and then rode it down, and I'm still holding it. So they're up 10% today, and I'm still happy holding it right now. And we can actually see Titan Medical announced a filing of some shares also yesterday. This is from yesterday. And this caused the stock price to go down too yesterday. If we take a look, it went down pretty strongly on Thursday. So we saw them drop. But again, they're another company that's raising money at $1.55 per unit for $10 million worth. And we saw it actually rebound pretty strongly today, up about 8.4%. So I still like this one. I actually like it more now because, again, they have more cash than they had before. I like that. I like the company, and I think it could do quite well. I'll put that one up on the end screen too if you want to see my video on Titan Medical. But I'm still holding it. I'm not trying to get in and out of these really quickly. These are more long-term holds for me. Now, if something changes, I could definitely change my mind on it. And then the last stock that I want to talk about real quickly is CLSK. This one, I've had so many people asking me about it because over the last 5 days, it's moved down so much. Now, I started buying in around $18.50, and then we rode it up, and then rode it back down. I'm still holding on to this. So CLSK had a short seller come out with a report against them. Then CleanSpark has now hired a law firm to look into the short report and try to, see what's happening and refute what they said. They say that there's not one shred of evidence, or they don't think they've done anything wrong. Now, I've also heard that none of the insiders are selling. So this is more risky than it was before, right? It's always more risky if someone is saying that they're being fraudulent in what they're doing. But I still feel like it's a good risk reward for the company. And you better believe if this comes out that it was just incorrect, or maybe parts of it are correct and parts aren't, but the parts that are correct aren't very important, I've got to think that this thing's going to skyrocket up. Now, I could be wrong, right? I am still in the green a decent amount on this one, but I was adding on the way down, just so you know. So definitely take a look at these companies. I think they're all pretty interesting in their own way. I've covered all of them before, so I apologize if you're just seeing this for the first time and you haven't heard about one of these. But I think these are all interesting companies, all companies I hold. Of course, there are some ups and downs because these are risky plays. I think they're all right around $1 billion or less. So these are risky stocks. Most of my portfolio is not in these kinds of risky stocks, but I like to cover them. I like to invest in them. So if you guys like this, please leave a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thank you for hitting subscribe if you haven't done that already. Thank you for checking out the Patreon along with those other links to get some free money. And if you want to see my video on Sensionics that I did, why I'm so bullish on it, I'll put it up here on the end screen. And TMDI, the medical robotics company, I'll put it right down here. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.